Two different people. Both of them, they want to become an entrepreneur, so they decide that they are going to enroll on an online program that will kind of help them to become that entrepreneur. Both of them follow exact strategies that were given in this program to become an entrepreneur, and yet they get different results. One of them becomes very successful entrepreneur, and another of them is still using all the strategies and methods that he has learned during the program, but can't see any result whatsoever. So why is that two people who do exactly the same stuff get different results? So let's look at it today. So the question is why? Really, there is a lot of strategies and techniques and methods that we can use, and it's great to have them and use them actually, because without them it will be much harder. But the point is that we often don't understand what is the strategy or method based on. We don't understand the principle behind the strategy, right? So to give you an example, how do you want to become healthy without understanding health? How you want to become healthy without understanding how healthy people think like or what they feel like? Same goes for wealth, same goes for relationships. How do you want to attract wealth in your life without understanding what wealth feel like and how wealthy people think like? You need to understand what is behind the strategy that they are using actually to make the strategy work. So this is a first step, and I can give you very much personal example from my life, okay? When this became much more clear to me was when I lived in New Zealand. I watched a presentation from Jordan Belfort about the goal settings, and I pulled out my weekly goals, and 3/4 of them were almost done, but I still felt discouraged and kind of not motivated enough because I felt like I'm not moving fast enough because 1/4 was not done. He had one of his goals done, and he seemed like he's winning, like he's crushing it. He was very excited and happy about how much he has done. And I was just sitting and not understanding what is he talking about. And this is really when it clicked for me. It's not about a technique, but how you're using the technique to get things done. And for that, you need to understand where is the technique coming from, which is a principle. And the question now is, do you understand the principle where the technique is coming from? And what are your beliefs about that principle? So now let's take a look on the pyramid I was talking about. And level 1 is an action level. Level 2 is level of emotion and thoughts. And level 3 is level of beliefs. And this is just the top of the pyramid. And there are 2 more levels beneath that, but I'm not going to go into those too much into this video. But just I want you to understand that these levels are deeply correlated with each other. We really think that action is the biggest thing we can do in our life, which is not the truth. Action is really just an illusion of our internal state of being. And to prove my point, what kind of action and behaviors you have when you feel sad, when you feel unhappy, when you feel negative and kind of down. You kind of stay at your home and put your curtains closed, put your blindfolds down, stay in the bed, don't talk with anyone, and probably sleep. So your action are a reflection of your internal state of being. And again, what do you do when you feel excited, positive, motivated, enthusiastic? Your action and behaviors reflect exactly your personal internal state of being. You quite likely go out, socialize, work on your project that you love to work on, and you are in a different state of being. So really think about it. All you need to do is understand it on emotional and intellectual level. And really beliefs, if you think about it, is just thought that has been repeated for long enough, and you attach a meaning to that thought because it has been repeated for so long. So if you attach a positive meaning to that thought, then you created empowering belief. If you attached negative emotion to that thought, you have created limiting belief. So all you really need to do to actually start using techniques properly is to change your beliefs about them and understanding where the beliefs are coming from. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in the next step. Right? So for now, just understand that it's not coming from here how you're using the technique, but from this state of being, your beliefs about the technique and how you approach it and your general understanding of the technique. Okay? Let's look at an example we can all relate to. Communication. What you believe to be true about communication? What do you define the principle of the communication like? It's the way to delegate information to someone else. But it's not just the way how you delegate the information, but how you delegate the information. You want to be understood on intellectual and emotional level. If you know this, then you know that using different sentences, using different words, using different tonalities will make a difference how you will be understood. Right? And this email, spoken word, body language, text message, or braille, these are all just methods of communication. And these methods change with time, right? Hundreds of years ago, there was no way how you could send an email or text message, but you still could use communication because you knew where it's coming from. And now look at your own example. When you went to a foreign country and by accident there was no one speaking your language and no one could understand you, you were probably quite likely capable to come up with your own method how you could delegate the information that you wanted to be understood on intellectual and emotional level. So you either pull up your cell phone and type it in a translator and let it be spoken by the translator, or you use some expressive body language or maybe tonality to get the message across and be understood on that level, right? So really, if you want to use techniques and make them effective, you need to understand what the technique is based on. To conclude this video, whenever you are using any kind of strategy or technique, make sure that you understand the principle behind the technique and principle behind the strategy. Make sure that you are not using it just from an action level, but actually from emotional and intellectual level. Make sure that your beliefs about the techniques are in the right place. You understand the whole principle behind it. And then the technique will work by itself. You don't have to worry about the action anymore. And if you like this video, if it was everything clear, just leave a like. If there is something that has not been answered properly or unclear, leave a comment. I'll get back to you for sure. And with that said, make sure you subscribe to the channel because there is more amazing stuff coming your way. And see you on the next one.